right now at 7.
Major changes coming to Uber, and passengers may not like what they hear. Why drivers will soon have more control.
But I could see how it definitely would change it for sure.
Sentimental stuff, mainly jewelry and all, but I'm more upset about like my dad's stuff.
Devastated homeowners in the East Bay after some brazen break-ins. How one woman was targeted while going out for coffee.
You know what?
But just the sheer volume of the injuries, 40,000 over the study period.
New study out of San Francisco looks at injuries and electronic scooters, and maybe more striking than the number of people getting hurt, it is how they are getting hurt.
We begin tonight with breaking news for BART commuters. A major delay on the Antioch and SFO lines from Contra Costa County. BART officials are reporting an unstable person on the trackway near the Concord station. The power has been shut off on the track. Trains are stopping at Pleasant Hill and Concord. BART is setting up bus bridges for commuters at those stations. We'll continue to keep an eye on this. We'll bring you updates as we get them. Tonight, some big new changes for Uber right now on the KPIX-5 News at 7 and streaming on CBS Bay Area. Good evening, I'm Veronica Dela Cruz.
And I'm Ken Bastida. The company says it's giving drivers more control, which could mean higher rates and longer waits for riders. KPIX-5's Andrea Borba is live with those details. Andrea?
The move is part of Uber's move against AB5. That is the new state law that reclassifies gig workers as employees instead of independent contractors. The moves Uber is making could change their classification and help them argue that these employees are in control of their own schedule and therefore exempt from the law. Uber emailed 150,000 California drivers and millions of passengers about the overhaul today. The company says it wants to make fares more transparent by giving drivers more control over their rides. That means drivers could start rejecting trips that they feel won't make them money. It could result in more ride rejections for passengers.
I think that drivers can already reject you for certain reasons, but also I'm not a driver, so I don't know what they're really dealing with exactly on their side, you know, but I could see how it definitely would change it for sure.
Here's some things to expect. For pricing, passengers will now see an estimated price range rather than a firm fixed price when they request a trip. Then there's upfront trip information. Drivers will now see a trip's time, distance, destination, and estimated fare ahead of time and can reject ride requests without penalties. And surge pricing will be calculated as a multiple of the trip fare rather than a flat dollar amount. That could help drivers earn more. We asked Uber for a comment, but they would not go on camera. They sent us this statement instead, saying, quote, "As a result of AB5, we've made a number of product changes to preserve flexible work for tens of thousands of California drivers." Now, Lyft declined to comment whether or not they will be changing some processes in the wake of AB5. Now, just last month, Uber and Postmates sued the state of California over AB5, calling it, quote, irrational and unconstitutional. Veronica?
We'll continue to watch this one. All right, Andrea Borba, we appreciate your reporting tonight. Thank you.
Drawers, closets ripped open, clothes strewn across the floor. This is how one Contra Costa County woman found her home in Walnut Creek after she left for a few minutes to get a cup of coffee.
I was downtown getting coffee. I left my house around 10:30. Maybe 20 minutes later, one of my neighbors called me and said, "Get home, your house has been robbed."
Yeah, the victim says her neighbor called police after noticing two men in hoodies casing the home near downtown. Thieves made off with sentimental items that the victim says are irreplaceable.
Cleaned us out of like sentimental stuff, mainly jewelry and all, but I'm more upset about like my dad's stuff and my grandma's stuff and diamond earrings I was going to give my granddaughter.
Police in neighboring Concord arrested two suspects in connection to a home burglary earlier today. Walnut Creek police say that the crimes are not connected.
In Sunnyvale, drivers are picking up the pieces after a rash of car break-ins. 11 cars were broken into during a 2-hour window last night on Rockefeller Drive. Police later arrested two people from Oakland. Officers recovered property allegedly stolen from Sunnyvale and other Bay Area cities. One of the victims says that she has learned not to store anything in her car overnight.
There's nothing in here of value. They looked at my manual, it looks like, and take that, but I'm lucky.
Oftentimes with these crimes, people do get away with a citation, or if they do have jail time,
it's very minimal.
Governor Newsom today signing a big executive order that would free up vacant state land to use for homeless shelters. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf says the order will help cities that have struggled to find property for homeless facilities.
In a high-cost area like the Bay Area, free land is very helpful. So it's not just that it's the state's land. The fact that it is $1 a year, that makes a huge difference.
The governor also wants to set aside $750 million in taxpayer money for a homeless housing fund to help pay rent. Mayor Schaaf said the governor's Council of Regional Homeless Advisors could unveil more specific actions on Monday.
Well, as these e-scooters clog up the roadways, they are also jamming up emergency rooms. KPIX-5's Wilson Walker with the new study that found a dramatic spike in scooter-related injuries.
It will come as no surprise that the flood of electric scooters on our streets has come with a flood of injuries. Well, the numbers are surprising even for the doctors that are seeing them.
I've been on call where literally for 7 days in a row we've had somebody come in from one of these scooter accidents.
Dr. Jeffrey Manley has seen it himself as chief of neurosurgery at UCSF, where a new study finds e-scooters have resulted in nearly 40,000 injuries nationwide. More than 3,000 people have been admitted to the hospital.
A third of the people that come to the emergency room from scooter injuries have a head injury. And we found that pretty striking. Twice as many scooter injuries had head injuries when you compare it to bicycling.
And so why is that happening? Well, most people are not wearing a helmet when they're on these scooters.
Generally, I try to think about it, but I use scooters and other modes of transportation episodically, and so I don't always have my helmet with me.
California treats e-scooters much the same as bicycles. Helmets are optional for adults. Doctors, however, say the growing injury data should prompt government and business to rethink the wisdom of scooter fleets without helmets.
If you're going to get on something, whether it's a skateboard, whether it's a scooter, whether it's a bicycle, you really need to protect your brain, and to do that, you need to wear a helmet.
In San Francisco, Wilson Walker, KPIX-5.
Taking a live look at San Francisco City Hall tonight, where Mayor London Breed was sworn in for her first full term as mayor.
Yeah, hundreds of people gathered at City Hall's rotunda for the ceremony. Breed's inauguration speech focused on two big topics: homelessness and housing affordability.
In addition to our work on preserving thousands of permanently affordable homes, we need to build at least 50,000 new homes.
And over at the Herbst Theater, Mayor Breed swore in San Francisco's new district attorney, Chesa Boudin. Boudin says that he is already getting to work.
There are over 1,000 cases in San Francisco where a member of our community has been harmed. Someone who has waited over 2 years for their case to conclude. We have already begun working to clear that backlog of 2-year-plus-old cases.
Our new streaming service, CBSN Bay Area, carried Boudin's and Mayor Breed's full ceremonies live today. You can find us on KPIX.com, the CBS News app, or on your favorite platform. Coming up next, why Senator Dianne Feinstein is echoing President Trump tonight when it comes to action in Iran.
And we take you to a Bay Area anti-war rally that got underway a little while ago. The message to the president. Plus,
like this week, when we got all of our guys back, you kind of want to watch because it's just fun to see them working together again.
Getting healthy just in the nick of time. Why optimism is building tonight for the already tough 49ers defense.
Plus a shakeup within the royal family that has everyone talking tonight.
They are basically resigning from their major responsibilities as members of the royal family.
And we're already seeing a few light showers showing up on high-def Doppler along the 80 and the 680 corridor. It's not much of anything. The real rain, that's tomorrow morning's commute. And we're going to time that out in detail coming right up.
Kickstart 2020 continues all week here on KPIX-5. Tomorrow morning is all about time management and how to find the right balance. Always a tough one. Those helpful tips start bright and early at 4:30 a.m. All right, turning now to sports. The 49ers defense getting stronger, leading up to Saturday's huge playoff game we're all going to be watching. Dennis.
Sports Director Dennis O'Donnell joining us now with a new Ford. You bought a new Ford.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a four-wheel drive Ford, too.
Nice.
49ers hope on Saturday. All 53 players are set for kickoff on Sunday. Vern Glenn is at Levi Stadium, which is ready to rock.
All right, Dennis, how's this for a backdrop? Kind of candlestick-like, all the way to the Saloon font lettering in the end zone. First playoff game Saturday for most of the Niners in that locker room. And excited? That's an understatement.
That's what you appreciate about youth, you know. They get another opportunity to go out there and do their dances and do all their choreographed handshakes. And, you know, as a team, you appreciate it.
Sometimes in practice, you'll, like, when the defense is up and the offense is off, you'll be talking, you know, about plays and stuff. But, like, this week, when we got all of our guys back, you kind of want to watch because it's just fun to see them working together again.
D Ford has played 4 snaps since November, but a healed hamstring boosts the rush from the edge.
D's out there, silent assassin, making plays, you know, sacking the quarterback.
What is the effect of Alexander? Bosa called him the MVP of the defense.
I got a great legendary team with me. Everybody ready to ride, you know, so I just can't wait. It's going to be legendary.
What has it been like to have Quan back at practice?
It's been legendary.
And Tart, the hard-hitting safety, back after missing a month with a rib injury so painful he couldn't even put his shoulder pads on.
Hey, it hurted to do a lot of things, like to even walk. So, I mean, I'm happy where I'm at now.
Yeah, it's only Wednesday, and we know what's coming. The Vikings have to run the football to give quarterback Kirk Cousins options. It's up to the 49er defense to do something about that here on Saturday.
Yeah, the Vikings run the football 50% of the time, but a key injury might have happened today. Adam Thielen, a receiver, went down with a foot injury. Don't know the severity, but he needs to be on the field for Minnesota to have a
No more
chance.
tossing. It might be 50 to 60% of the time they'll run the ball. You never know.
Yeah, D Ford. What do you call him?
A new Ford.
Yeah.
Got a
New
new
Ford.
shiny new Ford out there. Thanks.
I'm going to pick up on the 49ers theme because we need to talk about Saturday's chance of rain. There is a small chance of rain on Saturday, but now that I've said that, it shouldn't have any impact on that game. I just wanted to get that out of the way off the bat. Let's talk about what we do have. Look at high-def Doppler, and you can see a few light showers that are coming their way towards the Bay Area. I'm going to come in for a closer look because there is one little green blip that shows up right there, going across the Carquinez, working its way up 680. In fact, as far south now as Concord, maybe a few light showers. When you see shades of green that are that light, a lot of this probably isn't even hitting the ground. But there's enough here from what the radar is able to read, some of these darker shades of green up around Martinez, likely some light rain here. And this is affecting, you know, some of the later commuters here. So as you're going up 680, connecting over to 80, in fact, over towards Fairfield, we saw a few more light showers. But that's it from this. That's not the real main rain event that's coming our way. It's tomorrow morning's commute. So let's bring this ahead now to midnight. That's when the better rain gets here. Now that's a lot more widespread and impressive. And the time frame for this is basically through the early morning tomorrow. And I mean like dark and early, 3 a.m. is when we've got some of the more widespread rain. But watch what happens here. 5 o'clock hour. We're starting to get into the commute. And even though the North Bay is starting to see the rain lighten up, everyone else is seeing it start to pick up. So across the peninsula, Redwood City, up to Hayward in the East Bay, over towards Concord, this is when we're going to start to see some of the more noticeable rain in the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour. And then, good news, by the time we get to like 7, 8, most of the rain has cleared. So if you're a late commuter, you probably won't get rained on from this. But if you look at the rainfall totals, the streets are going to be slick. We're going to get about a quarter of an inch of rain in some spots. We'll show you those in 1 second. First thing I want to do is show you how the wind is going to pick up with this as well. Watch the brighter colors on your screen. As that line of rain moves through, we're going to see the wind start to gust with it as it does that. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and those are 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts. That means it's going to feel a bit chilly out there tomorrow as this system comes through. So one other thing to keep in mind on this, and there are your totals. About 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain scattered across the Bay Area. In other words, not a very big deal. It's enough to drop some snow in the Sierra, so there is a winter weather advisory up there tomorrow morning, but even that expires at 10 a.m. And it doesn't drop a whole lot of snow, but about 6 inches up at the pass. All right, let's talk about Saturday. We've got a chance for some light rain. It comes through in a hurry. I just played us from 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's it. By 9 a.m., it's done. And if we look at the totals, they're very small on this. That's about 1/10 of an inch of rain, if that. So when we see rain in the forecast on Saturday, I don't want you to think it's going to impact any of your outdoor plans. It won't impact the game, and you should be able to get outside just fine. Morning lows tomorrow stay relatively warm because of all the clouds, no 30s. Daytime highs tomorrow are going to struggle to get out of the 50s, but remember, it's going to be breezy and chilly tomorrow as this system comes through. There's your 9ers forecast. Partly cloudy, mid-50s. 7-day forecast. We already know about that Saturday chance of rain, so let's move on. It's not a big deal. Sunday, no rain. And then the next chance after that gets here for early next week. So it's a busy pattern, but none of these storms are really any kind of big deal. All right, guys, back over to you.
All right, Darren, thank you. Here's what you missed if you're just now getting home. Tonight, President Trump says Iran appears to be standing down hours after the country attacked 2 military bases housing U.S. troops in Iraq. A defense official tells CBS News satellite and intelligence information provided hours of warning for troops to shelter in bunkers. The attack, a retaliation for the U.S. strike that killed Iran's top military commander. President Trump also put additional sanctions on Iran and issued a warning.
Our missiles are big, powerful, accurate, lethal, and fast. The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it.
The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are warning law enforcement across the country that Iran could attack the U.S. in cyberspace. CNN obtained a letter from the feds with the warning. The administration did not name a specific or credible threat.
U.S. troops out of Iraq! U.S. troops out of Iraq!
In San Francisco, dozens of protesters gathered on Post Street for an anti-war rally, many carrying signs against the president for the killing of Iran's top general. Ken?
Thank you, Veronica. Coming up next, the California crime crew that police are calling the Beauty Salon Bandits.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, but this is major, major news.
And the shakeup tonight within the royal family, the unexpected move by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And then later, the volunteers that need to be ready for anything a devastating wildfire may throw at them.
Well, it's not something that you would expect while getting your hair or your nails done.
Yeah, tonight, police in Southern California say they are searching for some suspects who've robbed more than a dozen beauty salons, all of it in broad daylight. Surveillance video capturing one of these crimes in progress. 2 armed men walking in. Women were getting their nails done, their hair done. The suspects ordered customers and workers put their hands up while they took cash and personal belongings in less than 2 minutes. Police say they've hit salons in Silver Lake, Pasadena, and Alhambra.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex shaking up Buckingham Palace tonight. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced that they will be stepping back as senior members of the royal family. The couple says they want to work to become financially independent. They also plan to balance their time between the UK and North America.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, but this is major, major news and unprecedented. Again, Harry and Meghan showing that they want to do things their own way. They are basically resigning from their major responsibilities as members of the royal family.
The Queen's Secretary released a statement saying the family understands their desire to take a different approach, but that these are complicated issues that will take some time to work through.
Coming up next, the Bay Area group dedicated to making sure every animal stays safe during dangerous wildfires.
All right, we want to update you right now on the major BART delay in Contra Costa County. New video just in. BART police and fire crews still working to rescue an unstable person on the elevated trackway. This is all happening near the Concord station. Trains have stopped at Pleasant Hill and Concord. There are bus bridges set up to help commuters there. Wildfires and emergency evacuations have become the new normal in parts of the Bay Area.
And now one group in Napa is making sure that everyone stays safe, including the animals of all sizes. Napa's Community Animal Rescue Team, known as CART, has hundreds of volunteers trained to help at a moment's notice, from horses to 200-pound tortoises. CART can help with the evacuation and sheltering of these animals during disasters like the recent Kincaid fire.
A panicked 1,200-pound animal is looking for leadership. And if you can stand next to that animal and be calm yourself, a lot of times that will transmit to the animal.
Well, volunteers get screened and trained before being deployed in those disaster zones.
Thanks so much for watching at 7. The news continues streaming on CBSN Bay Area.
We'll be back here at 11 o'clock with more local news for you. Have a good night.
Good night.